Hi everyone, Stacy Whiter here on behalf of Campus Mortgage with a quick refresher for you on FHA Amendatory Clause requirements. Now just a quick reminder before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice or used in place of FHA guidelines. Also, this video was issued on April 17th, 2018, and the information contained in this video is subject to change without notice. So the FHA Amendatory Clause is required on most HUD and FHA purchases, and it gives the borrower the option to opt out of the purchase contract if the value comes in lower than the purchase price. Now, as far as requirements, the borrower should receive Form HUD 92800.5B, which is the Conditional Commitment Direct Endorsement Statement of Appraised Value. They should receive this before signing the purchase contract. Now, a lot of times real estate agents will have a similar form that they have the borrower sign, but it's ultimately up to the lender to make sure that this is signed and filled out correctly. Let's take a closer look at the form. There's a lot of information in here designed to help the borrower understand the mortgage that they're getting and also understand information about the property. So for example, up here at the top, it has attention home buyers. It's letting them know that this is not an FHA approved property and that FHA does not warrant the condition. It also gives them some information if they're buying a house that's been lived in before. An appraisal is made only to the estimate of the value of the property. It also talks about the commitment terms. So this would be filled out by the lender. It also gives the property address, the estimate property value, any specific conditions. So if it's a manufactured housing or something like that. On the second page of this, it gives a little bit more information about an escrow account, prepaid items, monthly expenses. Definitely important information for the borrower to read. But the amendatory clause information is really down here at the bottom of page 2 under sales contract, where it does state, and I'll blow this up to make it a little bit bigger. This is where that kind of opt-out clause is located. So you can see here, it is expressly agreed that notwithstanding any other provisions of this contract, the purchaser shall not be obligated to complete the purchase of the property described herein or to incur any penalty. And basically it just goes on to say that the borrower has the opt-out option. And here's a very important section where the lender or a real estate agent would need to put in the sales price. Now, if at any time during the process the sales price increases, then a revised amendatory clause would be required. Now, if the borrower does not receive the form that I just showed you before signing the contract, the sales contract must be amended before closing to include the amendatory clause, which is that opt-out clause that contains specific language. Now, located in the FHA handbook, they have the exact verbiage that a lender would need to use. I'm certainly not going to read this to you. Don't worry about reading. I just wanted to show it to you that it is available. And as you can see here in the middle section, there is a part where the lender must ensure that the dollar amount of the sales price is added to the clause. So the only time the lender would need to use this actual clause if they didn't use that initial direct endorsement. Now, when an amendatory clause is not required is for HUD REO sales, so HUD foreclosures, 203K mortgage, so renovation loans, sales where the seller of the property is either Fannie, Freddie, VA, or USDA, or the seller is a federal, state, or local government agency, a mortgagee or a lender who is disposing of an REO asset, a seller at a foreclosure sale, or a sale to a nonprofit agency. So in these cases, the amendatory clause is not required. All right, that concludes the video. Thanks so much for watching. For more tips and videos, please visit campusmortgage.org to look for their weekly mortgage video tips designed for all mortgage professionals, including underwriters, loan officers, processors, closers, and post-closers. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.